This is back with another Monad update for you guys. Monad right now sitting just under 19 cent, 200 mil in circulating market cap, and 71 mil in 24-hour volume. Volume down 26%, right? So Monad right now is in a spot where it's make or break. Honestly, a lot of people are looking at the macro of the market and think we're just gonna get a relief rally for Bitcoin up to maybe like 105, 109k, and that's it. That's the end of the run. And clearly, when I said I think Monad could outperform for 2026, it's just unfortunate that Bitcoin, really, it really depends on Bitcoin's movements, price action for either strong altcoins that are generating revenue or have a massive amount of users. They can't, even if they're doing builder funds, hackathons, etc., they won't move unless Bitcoin is showing some form of bullish momentum. And the same could be said about Monad here, even with everything Monad has got going for it. So it's really make or break here. Like I said, people expect a relief rally. I think most people expect a relief rally to 105 to 109k Bitcoin, and when that takes place, that's when you're gonna see Monad move up in price. It looks like that's gonna have to be the case, because even with everything that Monad is building, you're not seeing a change, or you're just seeing negative price action because of the macro conditions, which is unfortunate. It's extremely unfortunate, right? And there's also people that speculate we still could go to new all-time highs on Bitcoin here, but that is in my opinion, that is an outlier take. You'd have people say everyone is bullish, but I don't agree with that everyone is still bullish. I think it's 50-50. We are 50% think we're about to enter a bear market. The other 50% think we're about to, see new all-time highs. So how do you play this, right? Well, how do you go about this? Well, like I said, the only thing you can do is DCA into Monad, but be patient with your DCAs. I remember someone replied to me saying they have, they bought $5,000, 5,000 pounds of, is it euros or pounds? Let me know in the comment section. But someone has said that they bought 5,000 euros or pounds of Monad recently. But I still think it's smarter to DCA and not just full clip your what you're buying. You shouldn't full clip the buy, especially in these times that we have right now, right? Because you never know if something could go wrong and Bitcoin just black swan event happens and falls off the cliff, right? It feels like, because if you look at the overall market, it feels almost impossible for coins to go up. And that is not even a joke, right? So I just want you guys to play it safe, right? For example, like I said, in this position right now, if the bear market is happening in this year, if it's 50-50, well, you treat your portfolio 50-50 as well, right? You have 50% in cash. Like, for example, that person that bought the 5,000 pounds or euros, you have 50% in cash, right? And then the other 50% in exposure to the market. So if the market does perform well in 2026, you have exposure to that. If it does enter a bear market, you have dry powder or cash sitting on the sidelines ready to buy the dips or the crashes, right? So it's really left to be seen, guys. So just another update as usual for you guys. We could take a look at what people are thinking of Mon on X right now. Let's take a look at what people think of Mon right now. So someone opened a long position on Mon here, right? Looking for a move up. And we did hit a bottom around 1.7 and move back up to 1.183, right? But that doesn't mean it's the downside is over, right? The market feels very, very tough at this stage, right? Also stumbled onto some massive news as well while I was going through X, checking out what people the community had to say about Mon. So this is from HRS on X. Category Labs announced they will do a $30 million worth purchase of Mon coins on the open market. If you don't know who Category Labs, they are a parent company of Monad. First, they sold for $431 million worth of Mon, and now they are buying. This is business. Okay, so let me go to the official X account, because that is taken from the official X account of Category Labs. Let's take a look here. Give them a follow. So this was January 21st. Okay, 117k impressions. Category Labs may from time to time purchase up to $30 million of MON tokens on the open market in the first half of 2026 in accordance with applicable laws and regulations. Any purchases, if made, may be initiated, suspended, or discounted at our discretion. This announcement does not constitute a commitment to acquire any specific amount of tokens, but reflects Category Labs' intent to consider opportunistic purchases depending on market conditions. Okay, and that was the only tweet about that, right? Okay, that is very interesting. So, this is a parent company for Monad. Did not know about this. So this is some great information to share with you guys. So Category Labs, which is a parent company of Monad, is looking for opportunistic purchases depending on the market conditions for Monad, and that is up to $30 million worth, right? So that is interesting. So maybe they're signaling to us as the market, hey, maybe now is a great time to get some exposure to Monad, which I already said that was the case, right? But you see, for example, they're not investing, their entire portfolio into Monad. This is probably like what, 2%, 1%, 10% of their portfolio that they're invested into Monad, that they're looking to invest for, opportunistic purchases, right? We have to follow what the whales are doing. This is bullish. This is very bullish news, I have to say. But we have to follow what the whales are doing, right? So if they're looking for, to start, a DCA into Monad around these levels, that is very bullish. So again, this is why I say, now is a good time to DCA into Monad. But again, if you have 2,000 to 10,000 to 30,000 in cash, do not DCA your entire bag right away. Be patient, okay? You buy some here, another 5 days, 3 to 5 days, you buy a little bit more, etc., etc. Because if the market does crash, you're gonna wish that you had that, 70 to 50% to 70 to 80% of your portfolio ready to deploy if the market does enter into a bear market. So this is massive news right here. $30 million worth in purchases could be on the table for Monad from Category Labs here. That is very bullish. So just wanted to share with you guys. This is why I'm always checking on X to make sure I'm up to date on everything Monad. So as always, thank you all so much for tuning in. None of this is financial advice. I truly appreciate all the support as always. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. None of this is financial advice, guys. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. I'll catch you in the next one.